everyone, it's Zachy Poo. Welcome back to my channel. I am trying to get on the groove again on filming at least once a week. Mondays or Tuesdays preferred, which today's Monday, of course, but definitely leave a big like on this video and subscribe if you haven't already. And I know you guys might notice that my hair has been up recently. The reason for that is I'm trying to get all my hair around where I had it shaved to one length, and it's very hard to do that. Plus I had to get my top trimmed because it was dead on the end, and I'm trying not to put any heat on it. So after my hair's down for so long, after not, like, when it's down it's wavy, but after like the next day it gets like really poofy, so I try to put it up in a bun so I can try to prevent myself from straightening it. So that's what's going on. But I'm going to tell you guys the story time of when I fell at work and completely cut my hand open and had to rush to the hospital. So if you're interested in that, then keep watching. So this is seriously like the most recent thing like that's ever happened, like the most recent story time, to be honest, besides my Uber one. This one's super recent, like not even a year ago, like 6 months at the most. So okay, it was like in October. I'm a server, obviously, at a restaurant, and I was serving, and on weekdays we typically do not have a lot of servers. So that means we have a bigger section, we're responsible for more tables, more guests, etc. So on weekdays we usually aren't that busy, so that's why we have less servers. Well, this day we have 3 dining rooms. The first dining room is the biggest, and it usually has the most servers. The second dining room is the smallest, and it usually has the less servers. And then the third one is like medium. It's like in the middle. It's kind of big but kind of small, whatever. So I was in the middle dining room. So since it's smaller, on a weekday we only had 2 servers in there. It was me and this other girl, and I'm gonna call her Jessica. So Jessica and me were in the middle together. I probably had like 9 tables, and she probably had about the same. So at first it was really slow, whatever. We were kind of like, the servers were kind of just chilling, like taking a table here and there. We weren't really that busy. This was on a Wednesday, by the way. So all of a sudden, and by the way, we only have 1 manager on duty at this time, and usually we have 2. So that's another like factor. So it's a Wednesday, usually dead, not that much is going on usually. So we all of a sudden get this big pop, like it's really busy, like we are so busy, like slammed, like my whole section was filled like within minutes. Like they weren't even spaced apart, like that's how busy we were. They were sitting like everyone at once to like get them in so we can get them out faster, you know what I mean? We were really busy, and since it's only me and Jessica in the middle, it was really busy. Like I was so busy, like getting drinks, like doing this, doing that, doing that. I was here, I was there, I was getting drinks, I was getting orders, I was ringing them in, I was trying to run food. I was just doing so much, you know, everybody was at once. We were really busy, and the manager was trying to help out where he could, but like I said, it was just all at once. It wasn't like slowly. It was like literally all these people came in at once. So it's really busy, and I'm in the middle. I'm like getting drinks, doing this, doing that, trying not to forget stuff from my tables that are eating, just stuff like that. And someone just so happens to spill something. Like, I'm not aware of this, but someone had spilled, and we have an indoor and an outdoor. You're supposed to come in with the indoor with stuff, like dishes and stuff, go to the dish room, come back, and then go out the outdoor. Like, a lot of people don't follow that rule, but if you go in and out the right doors, you won't collide with people. But if you go, like, let's say I'm going out the indoor, if someone's coming in, they could crash into me, okay? So someone just so happens to spill something out the outdoor. So I'm, like, if I'm in the server aisle, I would go out that door with, like, a tray of food or drinks or whatever. So someone just so happens to spill something in front of that. I don't know what it was. It could have been water, Sprite, something lighter, because I didn't notice it. Like, it didn't, like, our ground is, like, made of like a tile, but it has like ridges and like grip, I guess. But I couldn't tell, like I was looking down, I couldn't tell there was nothing there. You know, of course I'm busy like trying to get drinks, trying to get food, but I did not notice this wet at all whatsoever. So I have this full tray of drinks. I have a 5 top table, so 5 people. A lot of them got like all glasses, so it was all glasses. My whole tray was full. I'm trying to go out here and get their drinks to them. As I'm going pretty fast, but if you've ever worked in fast food or a restaurant, you are required to wear non-slip shoes. So it's not like I would have just slipped, you know what I mean? Like, it must have been really, really slippery, like, for me to just fall. So I'm going out, and I slip on this, whatever it was in front of the outdoor, and I tried to catch my tray. And this happened so fast, I don't remember exactly what happened, but all I would know is I was probably trying to catch my tray, and it had a bunch of glasses on it, okay? So they fly up in the air. I fall on my butt, like, fall straight back on my butt onto the ground. My butt is, like, hurting, my back is hurting, and I'm guessing, like, from instinct, I'm trying to catch my tray. So as I'm trying to catch my tray, all the glasses fall on top of me. Now, I don't know if it was adrenaline or what, but I did not feel the glasses hit me whatsoever. They all completely shattered, didn't feel a thing. I look over, because I felt like a pain, kind of. Like, not that the glass hit me, but like a pain afterwards. Like, after it's like all settled, everyone's like, oh my gosh, Zach. Like, everyone's like trying to run over to me, you know, to help me. Well, I look over where I feel this pain, which is on my left hand, and it's gushing blood. Like, not just a little, like, not just a cut. Like, it's gushing. Like, I put my other hand, my natural instinct was to put my hand on here, and I'm trying to hold it. Well, it's gushing, like, coming out from my hand. Like, I can literally not stop it, and I look, and I can't even see. Like, the cut is so big, like, it's just gushing. So, manager comes out of the office, and one of the servers, she was the one who trained me. I'm gonna name her Vanessa. So, Vanessa comes over to me, and she's like, has like a paper towel or a napkin or something, is like pushing it on there and helping me up. And I guess she has like her certified nursing license, so she knows what to do, you know. And so she's helping me to the manager's office. He gets gauze from the emergency kit, wraps it. Well, when we take off the paper towel, there's literally a huge gash that you can see my tissue. Like, my tissue is literally coming out. And so they're like, oh my god, that's so deep. Like, if it was just a cut, I wouldn't have bothered. I probably would have just gone back to what I was doing with this on my hand. I would have taped it, whatever, completely went on to what I was doing. You know, I had tables, we were busy, we didn't have enough servers to, like, for someone to leave, you know? So he wraps this up, and I'm like, and I'm just standing there awkwardly, and I'm like, do I go back to serving? Do I leave? Like, what do I do? And at this time, I was not driving, so I was dependent on another person for a ride. So I was holding this, well, it was taped, and I was, like, just standing there awkwardly, and the manager's, like, in the office, and he's like, come in the office. So I had to fill out this report, accident report, or whatever. And then I'm just standing there like, do you want me to stay? Like, I'll stay for my shift. Like, it's not a big deal. I'm not in pain. Just let me take some ibuprofen, because the managers have, like, little packets of, like, ibuprofen in the office. And I'm like, just let me take an ibuprofen. I'll be cool. I'll finish my shift, and then I'll go home and get this checked out. He's like, no, it's way too deep. Can I even talk? Way too deep. You need to go get it checked out. He's like, do you want one of the servers here to drive you? Do you want me to call 911? Do you want you to call someone? Like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I definitely don't want another server going out, you know, because I know you guys are busy, so I'll just call my mom. So I call my mom, and I'm like, hey mom, I just fell, like, at work, can you come get me? She's like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm probably need to go to the emergency room, like, it's bad. And she's like, okay. So she gets here in like 5 minutes, we go to the emergency room, which they got me in like this, like, when I hear emergency room stories, it's usually like we're sitting there for hours, like we're bleeding, I have a broken arm, I'm still sitting here, stuff like that, you know, that you've been there a while. So I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna be here all night, like I ain't got time for this. Well, so we go in, fill out the paperwork or whatever, and as soon as we're done, like we give it, they're like, okay, we'll get you right back here. Like, it was fast, like they weren't busy or nothing. So so I go back there, and they are like cleaning it, and it hurts so freaking bad at this point. Like, whatever had stopped me from feeling the glass actually hit me is gone, because I can feel every like touch, every cranny of it. Like, it hurts so bad. And actually, I'm referring to the deep cut. I did have 2 other incisions. I'll show you in a minute, but I had 3 incisions altogether, and one of them was the deep one, which is the one that I ended up getting stitches on. So they're like touching it, and then they're like, okay, this is definitely gonna need stitches. So they get like a big ass shot, and let me tell you, this thing was like this big, and it was like this round. Like, it was a lot. Like, it was pretty freaking long. And so they put that, and they like put it right here, like not like in my hands, not in my wrist, like right here, and that's where they put the shot in. It's numbing. Well, I could still feel stuff, but I'm not sure I felt the pain. It was very uncomfortable, and I could feel like pricking and pressure, but it wasn't like painful, you know what I mean? So they did that, and then they stitched it up, and here I'm going to show you on my hand. So, see the light. This one right here, do you see it? This one, that's where I had to have stitches. That was the deepest one. You can see my tissue, you can see everything. The one next to it right here, that one was like a, oh, that felt weird. That was like a flap of skin, like it had like sliced the top layer, but it wasn't deep enough to stitch, first off. Second off, they didn't want to tear that piece off because that was kind of holding it together, you know what I mean? And so they had to like put this like little like glue strips across that to like hold it down until that piece flaked off and the skin underneath grew, you know what I mean? I'm trying to like describe it the best I can. And then I had one right here. Where's it at? This one you actually can't see that much, but it's right here. It was on my hand. And I will definitely insert pictures somewhere on here of my, of it like right after it was stitched. Like it's fresh, like you can see exactly what I mean when I'm trying to explain this. So after that, they like wrap it with this gauze stuff. They give me a bunch of gauze and a bunch of cleaning stuff. And then they gave me, since it's right here on my wrist, which is the most movement, you know what I mean? They had to give me a big ass splint that literally came down to right here. Like it was a splint. And it went to here, wrapped around my hand. I had to wrap that with like a bandage thing that sticks to itself. I'm not really sure what that's called. But yeah, I had to have that, and I had to literally wear that for like 2 weeks. And I had to go to a work comp doctor like 3 or 4 times. And let me tell you, if you've never gone to a work comp doctor, it literally takes forever. Like, there's always so many people in there. There's like barely any like nurses on staff. Like, I was probably there my first time when they just have to like, I have to explain the accident and like what happened, and they look at it. They don't even do anything to it. They literally just look at it and observe it and touch it and whatever. The first time I went there, I was there for almost 3 hours. I was probably there about 3 hours, like just to do that. Like, wasn't even that hard. Like, the paperwork was like a minute. I literally sat there and was waiting on a doctor for that long. Like, that's how long it took me from the time I walked in till the time I left. It was like 3 hours. Like, that is ridiculous. And I had to do that 3 or 4 times, and it took that same exact amount of time each time. It was very irritating. But my work comp doctor was the one that could actually technically release me to like go back to work, because after that happened, I couldn't work. Like, I got like workman's comp, basically is what it's called, and I wasn't working. I just had to bring these papers to my manager that said, hey, this is the work comp doctor from this company that I work for. He can't work until this and this date, until this heals or this happens or blah, 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 blah. So I didn't work for like 2 weeks. And then after that, they took my stitches out, and they said when they took my stitches out, if I wasn't in pain, they would release me, and I told them I wasn't, and I went back to work. But I do have this gnarly scar. I did put like coconut oil and like all that stuff that they tell you to put on it to like reduce scarring, and it has helped, but this is like what I'm left with. Like, I guess I could continue, but it's kind of like redundant at this point. But yeah, that is like seriously the craziest thing that happened to me, and knock on wood, there's a wood thing right here, but I have never broken a bone, never had stitches before this. Like, this was my only thing I've like bad that I've had to go to the ER for. Like, I've never gone for anything else, and that was so crazy to me. But yeah, Server's life is totally crazy. But if you want to hear more story times from me, I have a lot of crazy stories to tell you. Just suggest them down below, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I love you baby so much. Bye.